Hello, Capricorn, and happy May. I am Heather, the Starlight Priestess, with your May reading. If you would like a personal reading, the details will be in the box below. And if you would like to download my personal Oracle Dark Card deck, the Sparkle and Shine deck, it is digital. I will leave details to download that deck below as well. Okay, let's get started with your reading. Okay, we have the Silver Sisters, Fairy Lovers, Fairy Wishing Well, and Gatekeeper. Okay, I am using the Oracle of the Fairies deck for you today. I was also called to use a little bit of this deck. It's the Witches deck, I believe. Witching Hour, that's what Witching Hour Oracle. Sorry, not the Witches deck, the Witching Hour Oracle. So I will get into that a little later on, but right now I wanted to start with these. Okay. This is very much about creating a new life for yourself, manifesting a new timeline. And I am very careful about how I use the timeline shifting, timeline jumping wording, because sometimes I feel it's a little too trendy. But this is like you're leveling up, basically. You have the opportunity to level up. And right here, this is clearing your thoughts, clearing away the toxic energy, clearing away the low vibrations. So it's like, you can see my hands a little bit, but you have this lower vibrational timeline. And an opportunity is is opening up for you to jump onto this timeline, this life path that is a higher vibrational section of time. Okay. So you're resonating lower down here, you're resonating higher up here. In order to get up to that space, you have to release the things that are keeping you in a low vibrational state, clearing out the toxicity, clearing out any thought patterns that are keeping you in that low energy, clearing out people that are keeping you in a low vibrational energy. Now, I will say this with a caveat. Some people in our lives are put there. You made a soul contract before you came into this life. And you wanted to clear something. And this other person maybe wanted to clear something, or they just offered to help you clear. And so these people come into your life to help you clear because they trigger you. They trigger these negative emotions that you wanted to clear, these lower vibrational emotions. They triggered them. And so their soul's purpose, well, maybe not just, but a piece of their soul's purpose is to trigger you, to identify these lower vibrational energies within yourself that you are carrying from past lives, karmic, things like that you are carrying, to let them go. So sometimes once that happens, you can actually both move to a different piece of your relationship. Sometimes these people only are in your life to cause those triggers, and after the triggers are released, they tend to fall out of your life. So you might notice people falling away, or you might notice some people, even as you heal the triggers, they will stay in your life. So it's going to be different for everyone. Please take this as it resonates with you. I'm not saying something's going to happen either way. I just wanted to present, my guide showed me those two different paths and those two different options. So there may be people that you will find falling away. There may be people that stay in your life, but they trigger the hell out of you. And that is basically their job. That is their soul contract. And it's to get rid of these toxic emotions, this toxic energy that's within you. And, I said that, and then this next card is the Fairy Lovers. This could take you, once you get through this spot of like getting rid of the toxicity, it could take your relationship to a new level. Oh, it's interesting. You know what? I have an eyelash in there. And we have the fairy wishing well. Have you ever heard the thing, like if you take an eyelash off someone's cheek to make a wish? Well, that's what I have, an eyelash that is right under fairy wishing well. So, okay, we haven't gotten to that card yet, but obviously something about wishing. But we have this fairy lovers, and I wasn't looking at this card. I often do these readings with my eyes closed because I'm clairvoyant, so I see things and I feel things, and I can do that better without the distraction of the cards. So as we were talking about this first card, I was saying there's some people that may stay in your life and others may fall away. Once you get to that level, the others that have stayed in your life, you might get to a new level in your relationship. You might also level up your relationship. You might, if maybe it's a friend, and then you find out you're falling in love with one another, or you're rekindling a romance you've had. Maybe you're married and your relationship has been challenging for a while, and all of a sudden you clear these toxic emotions that are within you, and it clears away this soul contract, and so you can take your relationship to a more strong, wholesome level, and you can both heal. Because what they're showing me is it almost, for some of you, it feels like there's a give and take. So you have this karma contract for you, and you get through clearing the energy that needed to be cleared. You got rid of the karma. You healed yourself. And then your relationship is a new level, but then all of a sudden you start to trigger your partner in another way. And you have a new contract. Like, you have contracts that are lined up, and it's like this contract completed and now this contract started. So it's like now it's their turn to heal. And so it feels like it's give and take, but it's also giving this wonderful depth to your relationship. This that brings more love, that more bonding, more passion. And it feels like for many of you, this could be like a lifelong soul contract. Not necessarily like a soulmate or a twin flame or anything like that, but an actual soul contract connection where you can love each other throughout your life. And oh, this is so sweet. I almost feel like I want to cry, because there's a lot of love. There's a lot of challenges, but there's a lot of love. And you just have this bond that you continue throughout your life, and you're helping each other heal. And it's very sweet. For some of you, I know, at least with my spouse, we've had many lifetimes together, and I've seen those lifetimes, and I've seen some of the challenges we faced throughout those different lifetimes with each other. And some of them are absolutely heartbreaking, and I won't go down that rabbit hole, but you might have those same things where you've been with this person in many lives and you're healing things. And sometimes you may want to run, you may want to give up, but you stick it out and you keep that healing. You keep the healing going, you keep the love going, and it's just very magical. So for some of you, you could be at the space in a relationship and you're just clearing. For others of you, it's just sometimes some people might fall away, and those are the people that need to fall away. Those are the people that have the toxic energy and that are with you or friends with you for their own personal desires. They want to get something from you. They want to manipulate you in some way, shape, or form. And if these people are going to fall away, what's coming through is that your guides and your angels are going to step in and remove these people when they are no longer necessary. If they're there to teach you a lesson, when that lesson is finished, or when you realize it or something, when it's done, they're going to remove them from your path. Okay, I won't go too in depth with that because that's a lot. But let's see what other cards come up. And we haven't gone to these. I know. For some reason, I want to pull more cards. And I'm going to put them over here because I want to pull some of these. We're just going to pull two. Okay. So the wishing well. Okay, what they're saying is as you clear out the toxic energy, it's time for you to set your sights on what you want to manifest for yourself, what you desire. Okay. Now we have, like I said, we have this timeline. And that's what I was picking up when I first drew the cards, is this time shifts, dimensional shifts. It is releasing the old, releasing the toxic, releasing the low vibrational to get to that higher vibrational space, to get to that new timeline where you can manifest. Okay, so it's what they're saying is, or showing me anyway, is focusing, and I'm shaking, I'm not sure why I'm shaking, focusing on what you want to create yourself that is for the very, very positive. What resonates with you. So as you clear this toxic energy, focus on what you want. Focus on what you want to create. And focus very clearly on it every day. Because what that's doing is they're actually showing me they are building. Your guides, the universe, they can build the timeline that resonates with you, that you're like actually creating it. We always say co-creating with the universe, and they're helping you with that process. So create by focusing on what you really, really want. Healing these emotions, working through these emotions, while also okay, I'm not sure if I'm just hearing things. I swear I heard a bubble. And my coffee is like 2 hours old already. I drink coffee. I nurse my coffee all day. Everyone makes fun of me because I don't drink it very fast. Anyway, it's very old, but all of a sudden I heard a bubble. Maybe it was from the candle. That's a message. Hang tight. Okay, they're showing me a like a bubbling brook, like a fountain, which we have right here, this wishing well. And it's like bubbling up. It's active, actually. It's active, and it's almost like the water is speaking to you. And when you place your wishes, your coins in the wishing well, it talks back to you. And not talking back like negatively, it can converse with you. And it can say, okay, your wish is granted. Something like that but it's this connection. And it's an active wishing. So that is some amazing energy that I'm feeling. That is very, very strong, very magical. Holy hell. Okay. So you're putting your coin into this well, and this water is magical. And this water it's almost like an entity in and of itself. It's not just running water. It's like, it's an entity. There's a spirit, there's a god or a goddess that lives in this water that creates the magic for you. And so where you are conversing with this wishing well, you were conversing with the spirit or the god that grants your wishes. So focus on communicating with the universe, with your wishes. Actually speak them out loud. Visualize yourself. Say, okay, I'm by the ocean. I'm in a beautiful home on the ocean. I'm an author and I can write my book staring out at this beautiful ocean. Or whatever you want to do, however you see your life, however you see yourself living in beauty and joy and fun and passion. And that is going to unfold into this timeline shift. We also have solace down here. And solace, as we talked about the toxic energy up here, solace is sometimes, it's like in the tarot, the hermit. It's breaking away from people and from situations because you need to focus on what is inside of you instead of all the shit on the outside. And the toxic energy and the toxic people and the toxic situations, where you need to focus solely on what you want, what you desire, what is inside of you, what you need to heal. It is getting rid of the distractions the social media, the TV, the like volunteering. Have you ever, I mean, I've absolutely, with my kids, I have absolutely done this myself, where you just throw yourself into volunteer work, or helping or doing things, staying active in your kids' clubs or sports or whatever. And, you think it's good, which to a point it is. You want to be helpful, you want to contribute, you want to be active when your kids are involved. Maybe you do that for a spouse, or maybe you do that for, certain organizations. Maybe you even do it for yourself, but you get so involved in all this extraneous stuff that you actually lose sight of what is inside of you. You lose sight of focusing on yourself. You lose sight of inner healing. You lose sight of, when you're triggered by something, it's just external, and you lash out and you scream at people, or you're hostile. And that is all external. Whereas what you needed to do is go inside when you're triggered. Okay, why is this triggering me? What do I need to heal? It's all about turning it from the outside to the inside to heal. But sometimes when you're so externally focused, that's how you react. All of your interactions are external. Whereas they need to be internal. You need to come inside. You need to speak to your soul. You need to speak to your inner child. You need to speak to the darkness that's within, your ego, your shadows. This is where shadow work comes in. Figuring out what needs to be healed, the places that you feel embarrassed. The stuff that happens in our external world is a mirror to what's happening inside. And so, maybe you have weight issues, and you start, you yourself are self-conscious about your weight or how you appear to others. And so that's what you focus on with others. You focus on their weight. You focus on their appearance. You focus on maybe their hair, how they do their makeup, or whatever. And more often than not, it's because you're insecure about something within you that is related. And so you project it out onto other people. And that's that space where we need to turn it around and look and see what's inside of us. Okay, why? Why are we, lashing out at other people? Why are we so triggered by this situation or by this person? What is that within us? And it's all about those soul contracts, those people that may come into our lives just to piss us off, to trigger us in some way, shape, or form. And that's getting us to look inside, to heal. And so if you find yourself really, doing stuff externally, maybe overextending yourself, working too much, spending too much time on social media, being immersed in too much drama with your friends, it's the time to step back and say, okay, no, this is too much. It's external. I need to come internal. This is what I need to look inward to heal. That's my job for the month. Okay, here we have Midnight Prince. Ask for what you want. Be honest. It's perfectly aligns under that wishing well. Getting to know yourself. As you get to know yourself, as you clear the toxic energy, as you clear energy that is ego-based and not soul-based, you're going to find that things that you used to want, you may not want anymore because it doesn't align with your soul. And so it's kind of rewriting. And it's funny, I just talked about Sagittarius, I think. Sagittarius. Rewriting your story, rewriting your life. And that's what you're doing right here. You're co-creating with the universe to rewrite what kind of a life you want to create for yourself. And you need to be honest. You need to ask for exactly what you want, not what you think you want, not what you think you deserve. Ask for what you really, really want. Okay, I'm going to pull really quickly because we're almost on time. I'm going to pull 2 cards from the Witching Hour deck, if they want to come out. Okay. I will just read whatever comes out. We'll just say 1 card, 2 cards, whatever. Okay. Capricorn, May, guides. One last message for Capricorn. Okay. A sacred test, number 13. You know, 13 is the number of the feminine ascended masters. So for some of you, this could be like your last release, your last cleansing before you ascend. Maybe this is your last life. Maybe this is your last bit of karma before you ascend, or before you find your life purpose. And it's like blossoming. It's like she's wearing the white, the flowers are blooming. It's like she's been in this dark space, in this space where there's all these tests and this karma and getting rid and releasing and healing. And then she's just blossoming. She's actually turning into the universe. She's like becoming one with the universe and blossoming into this beautiful soul. And so it feels like you're right at this space for this potential blossoming in this higher timeline, this higher frequency level where you get your desires. Your desires are met. And you're in a space where you can live your divine path with all the things that you need and want. Everything is met for you. Okay, I am going to leave your reading here. Hopefully it resonated with you. If you like it, please hit that like button. If you feel something resonated with you, or you want to share how this resonates or relates to your life, please do so in the comments. I always love to know. If you would like to see more of my readings, please hit that subscribe button and the notifications icon so you can get notified whenever I post new content. I am sending you so much love, Capricorn. I hope you have a beautiful May, and I will see you back here in June.